All right, friends, welcome, welcome. I'm excited for today. Happy Friday. It's also payday, which I love. Mindset Roundtable. My friend Angela will be joining us a little bit later in the call, but today we're going to do something a little unique, a little different, something that I am so passionate about. Just the universe and signs and your gut instinct and your gut feelings and angel signs. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So if this appeals to you, get a pen and paper because there's going to be some notes I'm going to share with you. And it's really going to be a basic bullet point, basic system of angel signs and how to tap into those signs and how to tap. Now, some things are coincidental, 100%, right? There might be some of you that are like, well, isn't it just coincidence? Yes. Some things are just coincidental. Some things just kind of happen. We also talk about deja vu. Ever get that feeling of deja vu where you're like, I've been here before, this moment has happened? Well, that could be very, very true. And that a lot of the times that's your subconscious saying, we've been here, been there, done that so many times that you get that feeling of deja vu. However, there's other times where there's signs, and the more open you are to those signs and the more open you are to reading them and understanding them, the better, because the more you get them and the more open you are, the more you'll receive, and then you'll start to interpret them a lot more, and the more in tuned you are in direction, the more they will also evolve. So that's what I want to talk about. So does anybody believe in signs? Does anyone believe in the higher spirit or angel numbers? Does anyone ever see the 1111s? Does anyone ever see those numbers? Or do you ever smell someone's perfume that is not around, that is not physically around at that moment in time? Do you ever smell cigarette smoke and you're completely alone, but you know that your grandmother used to smoke? Do you ever feel those things, or you ever feel like you're in a room and you feel like you're not alone, or all of a sudden you get super, super cold and you're not sure why, and you're like, you get this frost about amongst yourself? Another really big one is a ringing in your ear. Ever get a high pitched ring in one of your ears to the point where it's almost debilitating and then it slowly goes away? Those are all signals. Those are all frequencies. Now, we talk about energy levels, we talk about frequencies, we talk about the energy fields in the universe all the time. That's what we talk about here at Mindset Roundtable all the time. But as human beings, we are energy fields. We live on vibrations, and it's actually scientifically proven that we have, within 6 feet of each other, we can literally feel each other's energy, which is interesting that during the pandemic we were asked to stay 6 feet apart. But when we are standing within 6 feet of each other, you can literally feel each other's energy. Ever be around somebody and then all of a sudden you feel like they, I don't know, there's just, they feel like they need to talk to you, or they feel sad, or you feel their excitement and you just can't help but be excited when you're around them? Or sometimes you feel their pain and their hurt, or sometimes you feel flat out scared. Like, I need to get as far away from this person as possible. Those are energy fields. And that is what everything aligns to. Um, so those are the things that you have to tap into. So when you're around other people or you're in an environment, be fully aware. We are a society that is never aware. This is us. Okay? This is us. And there's probably some of you right now on your phone, not even really listening. I'm just in the background, right? You're on your phone, you're doing your thing, but you're not present. We are not a present society. We are not. We are the people that everywhere I go, I'll be in a grocery store and everyone's down on their phones. I see people cross the street with their earphones on their cell phone, and they're crossing a street and they're not even fully aware. We are not present. And so you are missing messages, signs, you are missing interactions, you are missing moments in time where you will literally come in line with somebody, but because you're distracted, you're going to miss it. We miss so much. And we are such a society that we're always in our head. We're always on our phones. We are never present. And so it is really hard to feel fulfilled. We're a society that literally is exhausted 24/7. We are not present. And it feels exhausting just having to step outside our comfort zone. And when we ask someone to do something like, oh, I just want to stay home, I don't want to do it, right? That whole feeling, because we're exhausted. We're exhausted all the time because we're never present. It's almost virtually impossible to put a phone down or to turn off your earphones or just sit in the silence. So I challenge you. The first step to picking up those vibrations and picking up those signs. Lena, preacher girl, it's true. Like, ever go somewhere and put down your phone and just stare at everyone? You'll be the only person watching everyone else. Ever people watch? It's one of my favorite things on the planet to do, especially if you have ADD. I have ADHD, I have ADD, I have all of the Ds. I have anxiety, I have all the things. So I have to focus, and I have to focus on all of the things, because if I have this and then I have my earphones and someone's talking to me, I'm all over the place. So I love sitting on a beach and people watching. It's one of my favorite all-time things to do. And I just watch. And you might be in a room surrounded by hundreds of people. And I promise you, no one will even notice that you're watching everyone else, because everyone's preoccupied. They're on their cell phones, staring at their phones, not realizing that what's happening around them is either there's a really fun argument that's happening, or there's a kid having a complete meltdown, or there's a girl that just desperately needs a hug and she's sitting right beside you and you're missing it. We're missing it all the time. It's exhausting to watch. And I am just the same. I am guilty of it, but I make an effort to put this away, and I don't even sleep with my phone. It stays beside my mojo all the time so that I'm not distracted, so that I'm present. So I challenge you to put your phone down in environments that you want to be a part of. Just put it away. And when you go to the grocery store, watch people and be open to conversations and be open to sounds. And just ever walk by somebody and then all of a sudden you just hear one sentence or you hear one word, that could be a message for you. And sometimes it's just one little sentence, or all of a sudden you've been thinking about something and then that person is having that conversation, and all of a sudden you just got the answer to the question you've been asking every single day for the last week. Those are messages. People come to you for reasons, seasons, and a lifetime. People come into your life for either to give you a message or for you to give them a message. And so those are all connected. Yes, synchronicity. We're all connected for a reason, but the problem is that when you're not present, you're disconnected from the universe. You're disconnected from the energies. So when I see you on your phone, when I'm talking to you, or I'm across the dinner table from you, or I see you in a store, you know what that does? That creates a boundary, and it creates a vortex around you of a force field that says, don't talk to me. Don't engage with me. Don't talk to me. Don't be present to me. I don't want to feel your energy. So you're literally closing yourself off to something else. You're closing yourself off to the opportunity. And we see this all the time, especially on Zoom calls when we're at meetings. How many times are people on their phone during a meeting and they're not even listening? I'm like, you're not even present. So that's the first thing. You have to be present. Otherwise, you'll never hear or see anything. So signs are constantly happening all the time. And I'm going to give you some examples before we get into the angel numbers, because the angel numbers are just another version of a sign being sent to you. Those are your spirit guides. Now, it could be your spirit guides. You can call them your angels. It could be your whatever God you believe in. It could be whatever source you believe in. It's all connected to your soul. Okay, but really in general, we call it our angels, our angel numbers, and our spirit guides. We all have one. We all have a spirit guide assigned to us, whether you think so or not, you do. And that spirit guide will come in and out of your life, and there'll be different ones at different times. And sometimes you might even have more than one during the moments in your life. And some will be more aggressive in their messaging, and some will be more subtle. But the more open you are, the more aggressive you will be. The more aggressive they will become, and those start to become repetitive. And the reason why they become repetitive is because you are now in sync with your spirit guide. You are now in sync with your soul and who you truly are. And so the minute you start to open up and pay attention, you're going to start seeing it over and over and over. And so somebody was just saying the numbers, right? The 1111. How many times do you see 1111? That's like the biggest one. That's the most important one, is the 1111. And the 1111 basically is saying, pay attention. What you're thinking can be true, can be manifested. Yes, you're right. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. So the 1111 is telling you you're exactly where you need to be, but you need to pay attention. You need to be focused. And so if you are seeing 1111 everywhere, tune into that even more, because it's trying to tell you, pay attention. So whatever you're thinking about in that exact moment, or the conversation you're having, or the feeling that you're in, or the moment that the presence of the people in your room, whatever's happening in that moment that you see 1111, pay attention. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your anxiety? What's your emotions? Who are you with? What is happening in that moment? Pay attention. That is the biggest sign of pay attention. It's the universe relating itself to you and kind of reiterating what you should be doing. So many of us see all the time. So the fact that you're seeing it all the time is really good. That means your spirit guides are with you. They're aligned with you and they're here to open the doors. So signs that can happen. These are just things, I'm going to share things that happen to me when I'm in tune. Now, when I'm completely kerfuffled and stressed out and my cortisol level is through the roof and my anxiety is through the roof and my mindset is off, I start to notice that I don't get as many signals. I don't get as many signs. My angel numbers drop. It starts to get quiet because I'm not in tune. I'm not calm. I'm not open to it. So the more calm you are, the more in tune you are. And if you don't feel grounded at any point in your life, or you feel like kind of disheveled, and ADD, ADHD is the perfect example. It's like the squirrel running around in your head and you just can't get a leash on it to slow it down. You got to do that. That's the most important thing, right? Yes. Too much resistance to receive the messages, they stop. And that's been me this week. There's been very little activity because I'm all up in my head. But when you are, the signs that will happen, something as simple as you leave the house and you're on your way to a store, wherever you're going. And wherever you're going, all of a sudden the lights are green and people are letting you through. And when you get to your destination, the first parking spot that's open is open and it just flows. Everything just flows so evenly because it's meant to be. The journey that you're on, the path that you're on, the where you are going, you are meant to be in that moment in time. Ever go down a really long road and you know those overhead lights, and then all of a sudden one light will just automatically turn off? Energies are all about frequencies, and our spirit guides like to use technology because it's the easiest way for them to connect. So lights flickering, lights turning off, lights turning on. When you're in a massive conversation with somebody and they say something that's really impactful to you and your phone vibrates. When you turn on the television and it's a show that you love and it's a line that says something that really answers your question. You get in your car, the song that turns on is the song, listen to the words. Those words are so powerful and it's a message for you. Those are all little signs. Okay, if you ask the universe to send you, I don't know, let's think of the color red or red apples, for example. If you send the universe that and you say, I want to receive red apples. This is what I'm thinking. This is the journey I want to go on. This is the goal that I have in mind. Can I achieve that? Is that possible for me? Asking questions, anything, could be anything you want. You could even ask about, a past life, someone that was really important to you that has passed on, and say, are you there? Can you let me know that you're there? Be very specific in asking the universe for questions. So just a red apple or just the color red. And I promise you, all of a sudden, you'll start seeing red everywhere, or you'll start seeing apples, and not necessarily the apple itself. You'll see, the red apple on a bus, or you'll see in the window, you'll see all these apples with all these different names on it because it's for a charity. All of a sudden, you'll see an apple in the front store, and on the cover of the color book will be an apple. Those are just signs. You can ask the universe to send them to you, but you have to believe in it. And the more you receive, the more signs it'll give you. It actually gets really funny. It can become quite comical. And so I'm going to read, this is a good one that I want to say, out of the blue. So out of the blue is another symptom of signs. So someone says something to you that you just so happen to hear and it sticks out to you. That's out of the blue, but that's a message for you. Pay attention to what stands out. Ever see a random card on the ground? This used to happen to me all the time. I used to see like the 2 of clubs or the ace of hearts just randomly in a parking lot. You get out of my car and boom, it's right there. That's a message. Ever see a coin on the ground? Pay attention to the coin. What does the date mean? Does the date have anything to do with you? Does it have to do with a certain time in your life? Is it your birthday? Is it someone you love? That could be a sign. Those are all like weird little signs that can be happening around you. Take time to listen to the hunches in your inner voice. Your gut instinct is going to tell you more than anything else. Your gut is meant to listen to you. So Mel Robbins actually she's made a living on talking about your mindset and listening to yourself. And there's this method called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the reason why we do that is because it doesn't hesitate. It doesn't let you hesitate to do the things that you're supposed to do. Ever see somebody across the room and say, I want to go say hi to that person. I should go say hi. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen them in a really long time. And then, well, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Like they're kind of busy. They're all the way at the other end of the room. They're with their kids. Maybe I should, you know what? Maybe it's not a good time. And then all of a sudden you've talked yourself out of that instinct to go say hi to somebody, and you see them across the room. There's hundreds of people between you and that person, but you can see them clearly. But if you wait too long, all of a sudden they start to move on. People start to get crowded. All of a sudden you can't get to them. And that perfect line between you and that person is now blocked. You waited too long. You missed the opportunity to go say hi. And who knows, maybe that person that you haven't seen in 15 years has a message for you, or is going to ask you about your new business, or turns out that their child is going to be in the same sport that your child's going to be at. Like there's a connection there. There's a reason why you see that person, but you missed out. That is, again, when you're not present, when we're walking around on our cell phones, not paying attention, you missed it. You missed it regardless. So when you have that instinct to go, oh, I should really think about that, or someone pops in your head and you're like, why did that person just pop in my head? Maybe I should send them a message and say hello. Oh, well, no, I haven't talked to them in 5 years. Why would I message them? They're not going to want to talk to me. Well, no, there's a reason why that person popped in your head. Ever think of somebody too, and the next thing you know, you bump into them the next day? That's the universe giving you a heads up. That's intuition. That's intuitiveness. You know, you can call it psychic, but that's actually just your energies connecting to the universe. You just think about somebody you haven't thought about for 10 years, and then tomorrow you bump into them at the grocery store. What? That that's the law of attraction. Thank you very much. There's actually a book that's one of my books I was going to recommend at the end of this call, The Law of Attraction. They pop in your head. There's a reason. And you can ask the universe why. And then all of a sudden you'll bump into them, or you'll hear a story about them, or you'll think about something, or you'll hear a story that's related to them. Like everything is connected, you guys. And the more you open yourself out to it, the more it becomes. I used to get so in tune when I was doing yoga so intensely. I did yoga strictly for 2.5 years, 6 days a week. When the phone, right before the phone would ring, I knew who was calling. I'm like, oh, that's going to be, my friend Sally. She's calling me right now. And my friends would be like, the phone's not even ringing. All of a sudden the phone would ring, pick it up, and it's Sally. It used to happen all the time to me, all the time, because the more in tune you are, the more you will start to receive information. I'm getting hot. Okay. So let's talk about angel numbers. I love, see, spot on. So you just have to become aware. You have to be present. This stuff doesn't happen to people that are up here all the time. If you're too busy and the squirrel won't calm down, and you are constantly being interrupted by social media, the news, politics, the wars, religion, your self-sabotaging thoughts, all of that, that's a hell of a lot of noise, you guys. You need to tell everyone to quiet the you-know-what down, be in tune with yourself, take a deep breath, go for a walk, listen to the birds, feel the wind, feel the sunshine, speak to your soul, speak to your mind. You can do it quietly or out loud, and just ask the universe to send you signals, but be specific and start paying attention. And I promise you, it's going to blow your mind. Now, spirit guides love to travel. They love it. So when I went to Vegas, it became almost comical to me how many angel signs I was getting and how many angel numbers were coming at me. And I'll share that with you in a second, and we're going to go through all the numbers, but the stuff that was happening became so comical to me that I would literally be giggling in the elevator by myself, because it was so powerful. Because going to Vegas was a big deal. And for many of you, you know what I'm talking about, right? So it was quite a hiccup for me to get there. I booked my flight on the wrong days, and I ended up staying an extra day, and I thought I was leaving with everyone else, and I wasn't. And it was quite interesting. And everything all worked out. But all of the things that manifested through that week just all fell into place. And the numbers I got were 555 444, 5454, 4545, 444 555. It was to the point where I couldn't even open my phone, because if I did, the time would be 414. I'd have 5 messages, 44 notifications, and my battery would be at 45%. Like, it was insane how many 4s and 5s I was getting. It was overwhelming. So when you travel and you're exactly where you're meant to be and you're present in your moments, the signs are so overwhelming. I would open the elevator doors would open, and I would think of somebody, and that person would just magically appear, and I would laugh and be like, what's so funny? I'm like, I don't know, I was just thinking about you, when really right before the door would be open. Oh, I hope I get to see so-and-so, and the doors would open and there they would be. Crazy. So tap into it. Okay. So we're going to talk about the first one is the 1111. Pay attention or you miss the signs. There is the zeros. I've never really paid attention to the zeros, but when you're beginning something new on this journey, these numbers are defined as support towards your new beginning. So if you are like, huh, what in the world is this woman talking about? You might start to see zeros more than anything, because you're literally, think of it as ground zero. You're just starting. But the 1111 is the biggest one of them all. And I know some of you have already talked about that. So the 1111, like I said, it's the spirit guides, it's your universe, it's your soul, it's your angels telling you to pay attention to this. So this represents the self, the I am. So it's you speaking to yourself in a way, okay? And it's the divine is often associating these numbers with your faith. Now, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking your faith in you, your belief system, who you are as an individual, as a person. A reminder that what you want is already yours. Okay? You have spiritual guidance towards your vision. So those 1111s, remember I said to you, 111, 1111, or 1111, and it's 11%. You have 11 messages and one notification. Okay? Pay attention. When you see on your phone, pay attention. What are you thinking about? What are you desiring? How do you feel? Who are you with? What's happening in your day? It's reminding you that what you really want in your life in this particular moment, or the question you're asking yourself, is yes, it's yours. It's already yours, you guys. You just have to take the next step. You need to pay attention. So Tiffany was saying in the chat, she sees it all the time. So that's the universe saying, it's yours. It's yours. Now, if you're seeing other numbers, those are going to be other signs saying that you're getting closer. But the 1111 is just constantly reminding you that what you have is yours if you're ready. Yeah, and there's that whole thing, make a wish when you see 1111. And what that's saying really is that not only is it saying make a wish, because a wish is wishing for something to happen, but you actually have more ability to manifest it more than you realize. When my daughter got her stem cell transplant years ago, they called up the time that they begin the transplant, and it was 1111. Do you have any idea how beautiful that is? I have sent messages to people that are so heartwarming that I literally were so vulnerable in sending it that it ended up being 1 minute and 11 seconds at the 11 hour. Like, that's not coincidence. I'm sorry. That's almost, when that stuff happens to you all the time, that is the most powerful. So that's the one you're going to see the most, is the 1111. And that's the beginning of you being reminded to put your phone down, to turn off the noise, to stop paying attention to everything else. You don't have control about everything else. Everything that I just mentioned, that bubble, we don't have control over it, unfortunately. But you have control about you, yourself now, the I am. Okay, so that is the 11 and 11. Think of it as your 10-year-old self coming back to talk to you and saying, girl, you got this. You're exactly where you need to be. Okay, that's the word. Now, the twos. The twos are really interesting. The twos actually intertwine with the fours quite a bit. But twos means balance and divine harmony. So you tend to, the next step is usually you see the twos, okay? So that means you have balance and harmony in your life. So either everything is aligned, okay? Or you need to realign yourself. So it's about balance. So it's either saying, yeah, girl, you got this. You're actually balancing out. Things are going well spiritually, professionally, personally, in your health. You got it. You're balancing it, okay? Or you're a hot mess and you need to balance your stuff out. You need to reprioritize you. It's always about the I am, always, okay? So you need to make that either a priority, and you're going to know. When you see the 2 and 2, is your life balanced? Do you feel it all? Or is it a hot mess? There is no in between with the twos. It's either you are or you need to be, okay? So this number may occur if you are prioritizing other people and others more than yourself. Or it could happen if you are completely balanced yourself. So are you giving too much away? Are you a giver? I'm a giver. That's my problem. I give until I don't have anything left to give. And then I drain myself. So I have to be very careful. But when you are completely balanced and in harmony, you are at peace. Ever have those days where you just feel calm and just peaceful and you're like, things are good right now. Not really sure why, but things are good. And if you're like me, I'm like, I'm afraid to like move or touch anything because I don't want to ruffle it because things are good right now. Embrace that. Be in that moment because that's the biggest challenge. So, or you're just a hot mess and the twos are going to come and say, girl, you need to stop for a second because you're giving out too much and you need to reprioritize or you're going to burn out. Okay, so the twos are it's all about harmony and balance. The threes are really fun. Threes are really, really good. Spiritual completion really is what it kind of balances out to. So these are just like little basic points, okay? The threes, the divine has noticed you are fully aligned with your spiritual purpose and it will reward you. So it's kind of like the step, right? So the 11 is pay attention. The twos, balance, you are there or you need to get it there. Three is basically saying you're ready for the next step. Okay, this could indicate the strength and need to push forward. You need to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, or you're on the verge of completing something amazing. So if you are completely balanced in harmony and everything's aligned, okay, now the threes are saying, okay, let's go. We need to step outside our comfort zone a little bit. We need to push ourselves a little bit more. We need to do a little bit more. Or you have been doing that and you're just about to complete something amazing that because you're in harmony and you've pushed yourself outside your comfort zone, you're about to complete something really magical and you're ready for the next step. There's a reason why these numbers all align and you can go deeper into it. And if you start to see twos and threes all the time, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, remember it's the two coming together. So if you see the 2 3s, it usually means you are in balance and you are in progress of harmonizing and you are in the progress of completion. So the 2 and 3s combined, the 1s and 2s combined, take those into effect as well because it's not always going to be just one number. So it's like me with my 4 5s. It was out of control, right? Pay attention. Now it's rare to get bigger numbers above the 3, but if you are, it's because you're growing, you're moving yourself outside your comfort zone, you're going beyond the realms of the divine and your true spirit. Okay, I'm getting deep today. I apologize, but this is why we're here. So the 11s is the most common, the 2s as well, the 3s. Once you get 4, 5, 4s is very similar to 2s, so we're going to talk about that. What about 1, 2, 3, 4? You get that a lot. Well, if you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, it's basically preparing you. It's telling you need to get through the steps. It's telling you to get through 1, 2, 3, 4. It's saying we're going through, but you need to keep doing it more and more intense because there's something that's the 4s. And my phone is buzzing right now. It keeps buzzing. Okay, I love this stuff so much, you guys. The 4s, the 4s are very similar. They represent balance and wholeness. Often a reminder to take care of yourself. So if you're getting the 4, it's saying, okay, you need to take care of yourself. This could also be a reminder that to let everything just work itself out. That when we get impatient, when we get impatient and get irritated about certain things that are not happening in a time frame that we like, that throws off all of it off its track. So the 1, 2, and 3 doesn't even matter because now you're being impatient. So you need to calm down. It will happen. Everything is set to happen the way that it is. Okay. So it's either that or it's a reminder to take care of yourself. Are you self-sabotaging yourself? Are you doing things that you shouldn't be? Are you giving away too much? Are you not protecting your own being? Take care of yourself. Okay. You need to take care of yourself and let everything just work itself out. So the 4 is it's like a 2 squared, so to speak, which is kind of interesting. 2 times 2 is 4. A little bit of math. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it's telling you all of that, but it's also reminding you to take care of yourself. The 4 is to remind yourself to take care of yourself, but to also be patient and allow it to happen. So when I was in Vegas, I was getting the 4 and 5 because what that was doing is I wanted so much for so long that when I was in Vegas, it was reminding me that you're exactly where you need to be. This is the moment you've been waiting for. And it was all of that questioning, all that doubt, all of that fear, all of that, well, what if nobody knows me? Or what if they think I'm a foo-foo because of Mindset Roundtable? And what if I'm the renew girl who's gone a little bit too renew. You know, all of the things, all it did was remind me, yes, you're exactly where you need to be. And you've been so darn impatient. We're reminding you right now, this is where you need to be. That's why I was getting the fours out of control. 444. Take care of yourself and pay attention and don't be impatient. It's really hard for us to say that, right? But you also have the ability to control time. If you ever sit there and stare at a boiling pot, it feels like it takes forever. But if you walk away or you cut some vegetables and you come back, next thing you know, the pot's boiling. Pay attention to how you focus your energy on time. Time is very precious and you have the ability to slow it down with your mind, or you have the ability to speed it up. So pay attention to where you're putting your focus in, okay? 5. 5 is a big one, especially in our industry. It means doors of opportunity are opening up for you. Divine is trying to send you a path you should take, and it is your job to get on that path. The 5 is a really big deal. If you are seeing 5, that means something magical is about to happen. And if you don't pay attention, you're going to miss it. So I always imagine my life this way. I've said this on other mindset roundtables. Angela says I should write a book about this. This is my image in my head. I'm a very visual person. I'm standing at my doorway and we're all like this, and you're looking down a long hallway. And your life is basically that hallway. And mine is full of birds and it's open to the sky, and I see the beautiful blue skies and I can hear the sun and the birds and the trees and I can hear it all. And down each hallway, there's doors. There's doors, and these doors are doors of opportunity. Some are closed. Some are closed, some are open, some are slightly ajar, some don't even have a door, some are completely open, some have locks, some don't. And as you go through your life, you're going to see these doorways that you can pop in and out of. The best part about these doors is that if you go through one, you can always come back to the hallway. The hallway is your life. These doors are just pockets of time. And so the 5 has a door open and you're standing right in front of it. And you have the ability to walk through that door, but you're scared. You're nervous. It means big changes for you are coming. It could be a new opportunity. It could be a new promotion. It could be a new love interest. It could be a baby's on the way. It could be a move. It could be a bigger house. It could be a big trip. Something really big is about to happen. Are you ready for it? Pay attention. But it's going to hand it to you, but you have the ability to say yes or no. So it's up to you if you want to say yes, and it's up to you to say no. The door is open. Are you going to walk through it? If you don't, the door is still there, but remember we talked about missing opportunities? If it's meant to be, it'll come back, but it might come back in 3 months, 6 months, or it may take 5 years for the opportunity to come back. The traveler's gift, about when you go to heaven and we see all the things we missed. Ooh, I'm going to write that down. Traveler's gift. I love books. Traveler's gift. It's an awesome book. Thank you, Lori. Traveler's gift. Okay. Maybe he stole my idea. But that's how I see my life. And so you go through these doorways, especially in the industry we're in. People are all excited. They want to come join our business, and they're all excited, and they see the door and they walk in the door and they go, yeah, I don't think I can do this. And then they turn around, they go back in the hallway, and then we're trying to chase them. Because all you have to do is put your toe in the pond. It's okay. You're not going to blow up into flames. Come in, hang out, stay a while, have a cocktail, come sit at the table. Let's see what we got. See what happens. You can always go back to the hallway. You don't have to, you're not moving in for life. Just go check it out. So that's what the 5 is. 5 is a big one. Get excited when you see 5s. Also, don't let your nerves take over, because when I see 5s, I used to get really nervous. And the 5s used to come. So when I was in Vegas, it was 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 all the time. So it was just reminding me I'm exactly where I need to be. And right after Vegas, everything blew up for my team. Everything. So many things changed. 5, 5, 5. Yes. Same thing with coins. Somebody's asking about coins. Usually it's usually about the date. Because there's always a coin. There's always a number on the date. There's always like 1982 or 1999 or 2004. Pay attention to the date. And usually that's your spirit guides. Usually beyond. It's usually a family member that's usually trying to give you a message, or it's telling you about somebody that you need to reach out to with that specific date. That one's very specific. I just downloaded the book. Okay. So that's the 5. 5's doors of opportunity. 6. People used to think 666 is like the devil's number. No, there's no devil in angel numbers, okay? 666, 6666, or 6. However, something or someone in an area of your life, so it could be someone or something in an area of your life, is affecting you physically, emotionally, or spiritually in a positive or negative way. Okay. So that was a positive. Her daughter was 6.66 pounds. What date was she born on? What year? What date? Do you remember? Do you, well, obviously you remember. And the day 10. Oh, look at those numbers. 1, 2, 2, 3, 10, 20, 2013. And she was 6,666. 6. Oh, look at those numbers. 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, and 6. Oh my gosh. See? So something or someone in your area of your life might be affecting you physically, emotionally, or spiritually in a positive or negative way. And it's guiding you through your affirmations. So that's why affirmations are so powerful. So if you're seeing that, that means somebody could be really draining you. You could have a toxic relationship. You could have somebody that's literally bringing you down, and you need to find the strength to move forward. Okay, so that could be a death in the family. That could be a very toxic relationship, the end of a relationship. That could be something real, or you got fired from work. Like that could be something that's really affecting you in a way, and it's trying to tell you to kind of tap back into your affirmations to help guide you to get out of it. Or it could be the birth of some of your daughter. So that is something really magical that's going to affect you. But it's affecting you either way. So just either in that, if it's a positive thing, then you want to embrace your affirmations. You want to embrace who you are, embrace your moments. I don't get the 6s as much. And that's a number I don't get actually. The 8s, yeah. Okay. Okay, so those are the 6s. The 7s. 7s I've gotten a few times. I find the higher the numbers, I don't get them as much because it's all about your journey, right? So the 4s and the 5s I've gotten quite a bit. The 8s I've gotten quite a bit. The 8s and the 9s. 717. There's another one. 77. Okay. So you see how the 1s are in it? Because the 1s are always telling you to pay attention. The 222. You found a dime that had 22022. 222. Right? Right this minute. So pay attention. Those are just little things. And sometimes, yes, you know, there could be times it's just a coinky dink. But if things are happening like that and you're seeing the 2s all the time, no, it's not a coinky dink. Pay attention to where you are when you found that dime. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? You found this in this moment while we're talking. There's your message. Okay, so the 7s. These numbers correlate with your alignment and being acknowledged. You are dedicated to your higher purpose, who you are. We all have a purpose here on earth. Our souls, we already know why we're here. We already know where we're going. You don't know consciously, but your soul does. Okay, so you're dedicated to your higher purpose. It could also indicate a new spiritual awakening. So you are really in tune with what you are doing here on earth as an individual. You're very aware of your purpose. You're going, that's probably why I don't see it that much, because I'm just now tapping into it. But do you know your journey? Do you know your purpose here on earth in this journey, in this lifetime right now? Do you know what that is? And the 7s is going to remind you that you are fully aware of your higher purpose. You are fully aware of where you are in this moment in time, and that you are at the beginning of a really massive spiritual, I guess, awakening, so to speak. And you're very in line and in tune. That's your purpose. So I feel like that as we get older, once you find out your why and your purpose in everything that you do, you should start to see that. That's your spirit guides reminding you. So if you're doubting yourself, you could be asked. That's a really good one to ask your spirit guides. It's just, I feel like I've finally found where I am at this moment. I feel I'm looking at my phone. Oh my God, you guys, I'm looking at my phone and I have 7 emails. I'm at 17%. It's November 17th. I just so happen to look and I got all the 7s. It's telling you you're doing, so I'm doing this is what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to help women specifically find their way, find their belief system, find their purpose in life, and live to their higher power. There are so many grown women who just don't believe in themselves and just don't have that. We give so much as women, and I know I'm just saying women in general here, but We give so much, especially if you're a mother, so much to others that we literally drain and suck ourselves dry. So you gotta, my goal is to help, because if you can tap into stuff like this, well, that's the acknowledgement. You just want to be recognized, right? Isn't that what I remember? Oprah Winfrey said this on her very last show. And she's like, every single one of us on earth, we want to be heard. We want to be seen. We want people to hear us, understand us, and be seen. I think that's our biggest thing, is that we feel most of the time that no one hears us, no one understands us, no one really gets who we are. I've felt that my whole life. And so I feel like for the first time in my entire life, especially when I went to Vegas, which is why it was so powerful for me, it was the first time I felt heard, I felt seen, and I found my tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And I truly, truly believe that. And that was just overwhelming me with so much gratitude and blessings, and reminding me I'm exactly where I need to be. And if you're an empath, you feel those things. You're probably, if you're an empathic person, you're highly sensitive, highly emotional, right? You feel everything. I can't even watch certain movies because it affects me. Titanic broke me for 2 weeks. Like when Jack died, it really bothered me. It really affected me because I let things affect me, right? Exactly. So I have to be very careful what I watch. I can't watch anything with babies who get hurt or children. I can't. Phil, the power. The P is the power. H is the heard, being heard. I, important. L is love. We want to feel, we want to be empowered. We want to be heard. We want to feel important. We want to be loved. That's just human beings. We were built that way. We were not built to be like this. This is what's going to kill us, is when we're not in tune, when we don't feel each other's energy. That's why the pandemic, especially for us Canadians, we are going to pay for that for years to come. Our children are going to pay for that. Our souls have been broken because we're not in tune with each other as much. That's why animals, thank you, animals in general, well, you're talking about something else, but animals and children, they feel everything. You think that they don't feel you if you and your spouse are arguing and fighting, but you're not talking? You think your kids can't feel that? You don't even have to say it. They know it. They know when you're sad. They know when you're mad. So do your animals. So do your children, because they are so in tune with the universe and who they are. It's when we get older and we let all the noises in. That's when we start to lose ourselves. Your dog always stands behind you when you're scared. Yes, because it knows. My dog will come curl up when I'm sad. He'll just come curl up and he'll put his little head on my leg and he'll just look at me. I'm like, yo, those puppy dog eyes. The dogs know, they feel all of it. They see it, they see energies, they see force fields, they see it all, and so do children. Don't ignore the children. The children, pay attention to your kids, whether they're yours or not. I used to run a home daycare, let me tell you, they know way more than you realize. When my spirits were down, it was almost like the universe just gave me happy kids that day. They were just extra lovable that day. And because they just know. Okay. So those are the sevens. The sevens are just your spiritual awakening. There's only 2 numbers left, 8s and 9s. So 8. 8's a really fun one. 8, well, they're all fun. Abundance. That's a big one. What you give will come back multiplied. I say this all the time. What you put out into the universe comes back tenfold. If you're putting out negative energy, if you're putting out complain, negative, guess what? Crap is going to keep coming to you. Things are going to keep falling apart. I had a friend who sent this message to me. She goes, I hate traveling because it always goes wrong for me. Nothing goes well when I travel. Well, you just put that out there. You just said that. You just literally prepared yourself for the end of the world on your next trip. She always complains about traveling because she says everything always goes wrong because you believe it and you're sending it out there. So if you say, oh, this is going to be a horrible trip, yeah, there's going to be a tsunami. You're going to lose your luggage. Your room's not going to be able to lock. You're going to ask for an oceanfront view room. You're going to get a garden view. Everything's going to go wrong because you put it out there. So what you put out comes back tenfold. Okay, so be multiplied, whether it's money, love, passion, travel, doesn't matter. Your gift will soon arrive in any of these forms. Your gift will arrive in any one of these forms. So if you're putting out all of this complaining, whining, Negative, negative, negative. You're in a revolving door of just the same stuff over and over and over and over. What you think becomes. What you feel, you become. What you say to yourself, you manifest. It's all connected, you guys. The eights are constantly telling you about that. Now, the eights usually come in when it's either really bad, but if you're in a negative mindset, you're going to miss it anyways. You're not even going to see it. But if you are in abundance of a moment where you feel like you're exactly where you need to be, like my hiccup with Vegas, everybody was leaving on the Saturday, I think it was, or the Sunday. No, the Sunday. Everybody was leaving Sunday. And everyone's checking in their flights and doing their thing. And I'm like, I don't know why Air Canada hasn't messaged me. I don't see anything. And I'm like, what's going on? I go check it. It's because my flight was leaving at midnight. So I had thought that I had booked it at 11:30 p.m. Saturday night. But when I saw that I was landing for my connection, it said Monday. So I thought it was right. But really, I booked it for Monday at 11:30 p.m. So everyone's leaving and Steph's homeless with no flights and everybody's left. And I'm like, I could totally freaking panic right now. I could totally lose my mind. I don't have a room to stay in. Everyone's leaving. I am here for another 24 hours in Vegas. I'm down to my last $30 American. I have credit cards. I'm fine. Oh my gosh, I could totally freak out right now. So I had two choices. And I wasn't feeling well. Thank you, Denise. And I was getting sick. Many of us got the vid on the last day and I just wasn't feeling well. And I'm like, I just need to go home. I feel like something's coming up. I was popping the Fortify. We were doing all the things, but we kind of got the vid. Yeah, go to the craft stable. No, I don't gamble. I can't. Whoopsies. So that kind of happened, but what are you going to do? I hugged like 1,000 people that weekend. So I said, I could totally freak out. And so I had a choice. Do you freak out? Then you're on the phone, you're trying to connect, you're trying to get a new flight, you're calling your husband, telling him this, getting all upset, worried about the kids. I have an appointment tomorrow. I'm supposed to do mindset roundtable. I could have went that route. Instead, I sat there in my quiet and I actually laughed and I said to the girls, I screwed up on my flight. And I started laughing. I go, I gotta call my husband. And then I called him and my energy was pretty high and giggly because I can't believe I did this. At the same time, I do believe it because that's my ADD. Totally 100% my ADD. And I actually wanted to stay till Monday originally. And I think I may have manifested that without even realizing it. And so I called my husband. I said, so we have a problem. He thinks he's picking me up at the airport at 9:30 the next morning. It's actually Tuesday morning you're picking me up, not Monday morning. And he goes, okay, not a problem. We'll figure it out. I'm like, I'm really sorry. That means you're stuck with the kids for one more day. You might have to move some meetings around because I know you go to the office on Tuesdays. He goes, are you okay? Like, what are you going to do? I go, I don't know. I'll figure it out. And he's a planner, so he didn't like that. And I said, don't worry, I'll figure it out. He goes, oh, I'll pay for a room. I'll do something. He goes, that's not good. Like, are you going to be fine? I said, I'll be fine. I just wanted to check with you first. And he goes, no problem. And then call me back. So I kind of tell this. And then it just so happened as we're talking that night, the girls, there was 4 of them in a room and they said, well, why don't you just stay with us tonight? You just stay with us because we're leaving the first thing in the morning. So I said, okay, I was just going to sleep on the couch. And then I said, I'm just going to go to the front desk and ask if they have a rollaway bed. Because I don't really want to sleep in 2 armchairs folded together or sleep on the floor in a hotel that was built like 100 years ago. So I went to the front desk as we're leaving. We went to the front. I said, do you have any rollaway beds? They're like, yeah. I'm like, actually, we have 2 left. Perfect. How much are they? They're $35 US. So that's like 120 Canadian. So that became the ongoing joke. I said, he goes, let me just go check with the manager. Perfect. Comes back, the manager says, actually, you know what? We're going to comp it and we'll get it to your room within the hour. So now I have a place to sleep. Just like that. It all worked out. But then what am I going to do? I said, I'll just spend the whole day at the pool. We'll be fine. But I wasn't feeling well. And then our good friend, Heather, bless her soul, she's like, she made an oopsies and actually booked her hotel room an extra day. So she was actually thought she was leaving on Tuesday, like me, but turns out she was leaving on Monday. But she booked her hotel room and was already all paid for. So she's like, well, I'm leaving because I screwed up. Here's my key card. You can have my room for the whole day. So you have somewhere to like change and leave your clothes and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, are you sure? Do you want anything for it? She goes, no, like go away. And I'm like, are you sure? She's like, don't be stupid. Anyways, love her to death. And she gave me her key card. I am so grateful, you guys, because I got, and it was divine intervention, because little did I know I was really sick and I was not in a good place. I literally have never sweated that much in my life, and I was freezing and all I wanted to do was sleep. So I spent the entire morning. I went to the pool. I said, I can't do this. It's too hot. Went back to the room, slept for 3 hours, woke up in a pool of sweat, took a shower, went back to bed, slept another 3 hours, woke up, felt better, and spent the whole day just resting. And then I flew home and I was fine. So it all worked out. It all worked out. And if you just let things happen, I could have totally freaked out and made my life a complete nightmare, trying to switch flights and trying to get frustrated and going to the airport and trying to get on the next plane and then cause a complete kerfuffle. Or I could have just sat back and just said, well, this sucks. Not very smart of me, but let's see what happens. And I literally said that to myself. Let's just see how it goes. I ended up getting a free rollaway bed with some of the most amazing women ever, who gave me all the drugs that I needed to feel better. I got a room to myself, a shower in a really nice room, on a bed that was made, because she was double, it was two double beds, only one had never been used, so I slept in that one. I ordered food from downstairs. It all worked out. I got on my plane. It was an overnight plane, so I got to sleep on the plane. My husband switched his appointment. It didn't make a big deal. He was able to pick me up. It all worked out. All legal. Yeah, I know. I got to be careful saying the drugs. It's called vitamin C, vitamin D, and my support. No, it was all plant-based, natural. Thank you. I promise. But it helped. It helped. And it got rid of the aches and pains. And I had my CBD for my joint pain. It was all good. But this is the eights, you guys. This is the abundance. This is telling you to just let things happen. It is meant to be. And what you put out comes back. So I could have taken two roads. You were always given a choice in everything in your life. There's a fork in the road. Always. Can you go left and lose your mind over something you have no control over, like shipping? Or a tournament gets canceled for your kids and you had booked everything to arrange around his soccer, and all of a sudden it gets canceled. Like, you have the ability to control so much. Don't freak out about the stuff you can't control. Embrace it, understand that it's meant to happen, and it will work out. Life is not supposed to be full of doors slamming in your face. If doors are slamming in their face, it's there to protect you for a reason. It's telling you it's not meant to be. If you are trying to make something happen over and over and you keep getting hit by a wall and it just won't happen, there's a reason why it's not happening. So stop fighting it. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. It's just like falling in love. I didn't meet my husband until I was 25. I'm like, where in the world is he? He's driving me crazy. But I wasn't ready for him until I was 25. Plus, I'm 5 years older. So when I met him, he was 20. And so he wasn't ready. I was ready at 23. He was still 18. So he wasn't ready. But let everything happen. Just let it happen. Life is supposed to be smooth. There's going to be challenges. But if things aren't happening, don't force it. Just let it happen. Okay. And the last number, we're going to end this on this, is the nines. The nines are really cool because it's the end of the old and the beginning of something completely new. It's a really simple one. So that could be the end of a relationship, or the end of a job, or the end of an era, the end of a relationship, an end of a story in your life, an end in a time. 911. Yes. So it's telling you the ones. Remember, we talked about the ones. Pay attention. This is your life. And the 9 is telling you it's the end of a journey and the beginning of something really new. And it doesn't always have to be horrible. Okay. So remember, we're saying the 7s, right? You're in that spiritual awakening. So if you're getting 7s and 9s, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 7, 9, they tend to all intertwine together real fast. So I'll do a quick recap and then we'll end it. So 1s is yourself talking to yourself. It's the I am. Okay. So just have guidance. You're exactly where you need to be. Now it's up to you. The 2 is about balance and harmony in your life. You're either completely out of whack and you need to get your, what together, or you're completely in balance with exactly where you're meant to be. 3 is spiritual completion. So the divine, the higher power, your source, your angels, whatever you like to call, is noticing you, and you are fully aligned with your purpose, and it's going to happen. Are you ready for the next step? 4 is very similar to the 2s, but it's telling you to take care of yourself. Pay attention. Don't give away too much. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself first, okay? And let it happen. Just let it happen. Have patience, which is hard for us. 5, doors of opportunity. Down the hallway, there's a door open. Don't be afraid. You can always come back, but take that door. Just jump. The parachute will open. We got your hands. We got you. Just take a chance. You can always come back if you don't like it, but take a chance. So many people are afraid to take a chance. Run through the door. It will catch you. There's a reason why it's happening. You'll be fine. I promise. I promise you'll be fine. Okay, that's the 5s. The 6, pay attention. Something's either affecting you negatively or positively, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. So pay attention. Okay. 7s, you're aligned with your higher purpose. You're in the beginning of spiritual awakening. You're actually living your greatest purpose. 8th is about abundance. Either it's in its whatever it's money, love, passion, profession, whatever that is, what you put out comes back tenfold. So pay attention to what you're putting out there. If it's not working in your business, you need to put more into it. You're not doing enough. If it's not working, you need to change it. You need to keep doing more. Okay. Push. And are you complaining? Are you whining? Are you negative? Change it. You got to change it. And 9, it's the end of the old, beginning of the new. Embrace. Numbers are powerful, you guys. That's just a real, I can go deep into that. Oh, real quick. Okay. I want to share my books that I've liked. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope that share your numbers, whether you're watching this on the replay or here now, share your numbers. Ask questions, ask the universe for all of things. Here's a book called Signs. This is it's the secret language of the universe. Just called Signs. It's very light, and it's basically about asking. And the question about the apple is actually, I got it from this book. So Buddy's on the other side. The coin, she talks about coins, about asking about certain lights. If you want lights to flicker, lights to turn on, lights to turn off, choose something very specific to ask for signs. So this is a really good book. It's a very lightheaded, it's just very simple. It's basically just stories and how to ask the universe for signs. Now, if you're an empath or you're somebody who's like me, who lives very sensitive beings, this is called the highly sensitive person. I actually went to see a therapist once for cognitive function to help me with my anxiety and my depression. I've talked about that on other calls. And she's like, you're a very highly sensitive person. I'm like, well, duh. And I told her how that's why I don't read the news. That's why I can't hear about these wars. I can't, it physically affects me. It'll literally drain me. So learning about being the highly sensitive person and about how to protect yourself. It takes all kinds, making friends, just how to protect yourself, and how a highly sensitive person is really hard for people like me to make friendships, because I'm very sensitive, and things happen that I sometimes take personally, and I don't know how to express myself. Right? So this is a really good one. It's called The Highly Sensitive Person. This was a book, I think, very similar to what Lori said. Lori wrote a book. She said there was a book that we should read, and this is kind of on the same guideline. It's called The Proof of Heaven. If you guys want a really fun book just to read about the other side, this is a neurologist. He's well-renowned, one of the best in the world, brain surgeon, who literally was clinically dead for pretty much for 2 weeks. He was a vegetable. And this is his story of the other side. And a lot about what we talked about today is in this book. It's a cool book because it talks about the person who doesn't believe in any of this stuff, who went to the other side. It's a really fun book. It actually, if you're going through something really powerful or you're grieving the loss of someone, this will give you a lot of hope and belief. And it's just a cool story. I read it on one weekend when we were camping. This was a really fun book to read outdoors. Yeah. I've seen and felt the warm light. I believe it. So Proof of Heaven. Yeah, there's the doctor. Where's his bow ties? Okay. 2 more. This is another one about self-sabotage. It's just one I wanted to throw in there. If you're somebody who self-sabotages a lot, it's called The Mountain Is You. I I am notorious for self-sabotaging myself. I've gotten way, way better, but you got to be aware. We actually did a call in the Mindset Roundtable Facebook page. If you were to scroll down, we did an entire call with my friend Beth, who's a self-sabotage coach. Wild, didn't even know that was a thing. Very good book, right, Tiffany? Really, really good. And so we did an entire call about self-sabotage, but it's talking about the mountain is you and how you have the power. And so building yourself, how to follow your gut without getting scared, basically how to walk through that door and not stopping yourself from doing it. You have an important meeting tomorrow, but you end up staying up all night drinking wine and watching, Netflix on binging. What are you doing? You're self-sabotaging it. You have an important meeting. Go to bed. Get a good night's rest. But sometimes we self-sabotage because we don't believe in ourselves. So that's a really good one. The mountain is you. Okay. Two more. The law of attraction. It was really good that we mentioned that at the very beginning. This one's a little foo-foo. It gets very, very spiritual, but it is about the law. This is the original book, the original creators. It's a couple, Esther and Jerry Hicks. They're the ones this is the law of attraction series. There's a whole bunch of them. You can get them probably at the library. It's about the law of attraction. And yes, The Secret basically comes from this. So another really good book is The Secret. There's actually a movie that they've done about it. There's actually a few documentaries. It basically stems from the law of attraction. We are 6 degrees of separations, my friend. And last but not least, I think everyone should know their love language. Do you know your love language? The 5 love languages. So you can actually get the book. I liked it because he goes into depth, and then there's a questionnaire at the back. If you go you just Google and you just go to 5 love languages, there's actually a test you can take, and I recommend you doing it with your spouse and your kids. This is really, really good. Okay, Lori's physical touch and words of affirmation are tied. Mine is words of affirmation, weird, and quality time. If I don't get to spend time with you and I don't hear how I feel, how I make you feel, I get really sensitive. And that's because I'm high maintenance. I need to know how you feel about me, and I need to spend time with you, or I get cranky. Right? Yours is quality time, Lena. Oh, very good. See, quality time. My husband is acts of service and physical touch. I think all men are physical touch. His is acts of service. So if I can make him a warm dinner and the house is clean and the kids are good and I give him a hug when he walks in the door, he's happy. Or me, I need to hear it and spend time with you. That's a big one. So know your love languages. There's 5. So there's physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. And you'd be surprised which one is which, right? Mine is, yeah, right there. I need to spend time with you, and I need to hear how you feel about me. I need to know. Okay, so those are my recommendations. I hope I helped today. I hope you learned something. I hope it wasn't too foo, but I just wanted to focus a little bit more on something, beyond what we normally talk about, because it's all connected. You can follow me. Oh, Lena, you can just go search me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Stephanie Stevens. But guys, just connect, pay attention. The universe wants to help you. Your spirit guides are there to lead you. But if you are too busy and not paying attention, you're going to miss it. So pay attention. Dive into yourself, spend some time, learn about who you are, learn about your purpose, find your way, because you're worth it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Nobody deserves it more than yourself. So just spend some time on yourself. I appreciate you all. Thank you, you guys. I hope this was good. I appreciate you all, and I hope to see you guys again. And then if you're not in the group, please get in the group and please tag your friends. Invite. It's open to everybody. Okay, this is not limited to certain people. This is anybody who wants to find their purpose. Love you all. Have a really beautiful day, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.